Hello, beautiful souls. I couldn't get the camera right. Hey, Tasha. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to get through the circle without technical difficulties because it seems like the internet has been kooky, technology has gone to shit. So, Tasha, can you hear and see me okay? I just want to make sure that you guys can hear and see me okay, because that would be step one. I'm sending you all some Palo Santo. So if you're here, let me know. Um, hey, Amy, I'm glad you made it. Hey, Shelly. Yes, my boo-boo's gone. I mean, it's just a little mark, but it's gone. Yeah, that was an interesting week. Hi, Lucy. So I hope you're all doing well. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? Um, Anita, oh, it's so good to see you. Hey, Nancy. Oh, great. There are some faces I haven't, well, not that I could see you, but I see you. Um, so tonight's the new moon in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, and Cancer is more like a homebody. Cancer likes routine. Cancer doesn't like being disrupted from the routine. Anything that would make Cancer uncomfortable, they become crabby and kind of isolate in their shell, so to speak. So this week is going to be a very, very interesting, busy week astrologically. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad, but there is a lot of shit going on. We have like Venus going retrograde. We have like these, I couldn't even tell you like what planets are lining up with what, because they're all moving like really quickly in these different houses. Um, it's really, the theme is purging as usual. It's also about surrender. So surrendering to what was, what is, what's going to be, um, coming to a place of, how can I put this into words? Not pure love, but in a sense, your deepest desires, your what you want, not what's expected of you, not who you're expected to be. So if you're going through a really uncomfortable time right now, it's as if the universe is saying, it's time to step up. It's time to define what you want, who you are, why you came here, right? We all chose to come here because we're nuts, but so I've heard, it's a special time. And I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm being sarcastic because there are those days where I want to tap out and say, I want to get off the ride. I've had enough. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs like that for the rest of the year. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Now, how you handle it is how you're going to perceive it, as good or bad. It can be very freeing and in the beginning very scary. Or you can just dig your heels in and not budge and, resist. And yeah, you're going to have a hard time because we can't put off anything anymore. And I think I said that about 2 years ago during one of the last circles. Hi, Tom. That we can't put off what we need to heal right now. We just can't, do a little bit and then like, okay, I don't want to deal with it anymore. This is good enough. And then move on. We can't do that anymore. Now it's in our face constantly until we heal it. What I've been learning, what I feel it's been teaching me, and when I connect to the collective, is surrendering. And that's not easy. It's letting go of your deepest fear, knowing it's possible that deepest fear can happen, but there is a higher power that will always be for your highest and greatest good. And that's not an easy place to get to. And at least for me, the past couple of months, I feel like I'm being really challenged when it comes to that. So if you are in a place where you feel like you are being challenged as well, to a degree, let's say you feel overwhelmed, you're just not yourself, you don't have clarity, it's just mayhem, you're very emotional, you have feelings that you don't even know how to identify. And when you try to do some healing on yourself, a story comes up rather than a feeling. Remember, when something wants to come up, if it comes up as a story, that is you hiding the feeling, not on purpose, unknowingly, but that is you protecting the feeling. That is your like subconscious protecting the feeling. So it'll come up as a story. I feel bad. You know what? Joe Schmo made me feel like shit because blah, blah, blah. He's an asshole. But I never dealt with what I was feeling because this story came up and I justified whatever I was feeling as the story, even though I really don't know what I was feeling, but whatever it was, I feel bad and it's Joe Schmo's fault because he's an asshole. I hope that makes sense. So there's going to be a lot of that coming up, a lot of past life dreams, childhood dreams, and I think this came up in the last circle as well. I don't know about you guys, but I've been so thirsty. I feel like I can't drink enough water. Past life dreams, daydreaming, zoning, especially if you have the gift of like vision, you see things, either you see things before they happen or you just get visions just in general. They're probably becoming stronger right now. Everyone's gifts are increasing. Some of you may be noticing you can hear other people's or feel other people's thoughts or feelings. Just explore it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't remember we're energy, and so much of who we are has been suppressed. And they've told us we have junk DNA and we only use like what, less than 10% of our brain. Don't you want to know what the other 90% does? And this so-called junk DNA, what's so junky about it? What does it do? What does it contain? Hi, Tatty. So what I think, in order to control us, they gave us labels of different mental illnesses, and they just labeled everything rather than give us the choice. Not that I'm dismissing mental illness. I am not in any way. But there are more reasons behind it. It comes from a core. It comes from a place. And I don't believe that it's passed on generation to generation. Yes, patterns are, but that doesn't mean you're definitely going to inherit this because it's in your family. I think there is a lot that is diagnosed as mental illness that is actually gifts. And remember, it's only in the dark till we find the light. So sometimes we got to go into the darkness in order to see our light. And that's who we truly are. So hang in there, my friends. I know it's been a challenging time. This week, I am interested to see what transpires globally, because astrologically, a lot of crazy shit, the way the planets, the energy that's being contributed to Earth. I'm just going to sit back and watch the show and see what transpires, because I really believe we are at the pivotal point that we've been hoping for, waiting for, um, trying to raise our vibration for. I really feel like the next 2 weeks is that pivotal point. So those of you who are familiar of what we're going through, it's not going to be as scary or like, oh, here we go again. I don't feel that, but I do feel for the people that still have their head in the sand and still are clueless to what's going on. And, they're choosing to give up their power and have someone else tell them what's right, what's wrong, what they need to be, and where they need to belong. They're in for a shit show. And I believe that it is our job to, as humans, to help the other humans that are willing and ready to be helped. I mean, you can't force someone to heal or see the truth, but I think this is our truly stepping up point these next 2 weeks. And by the end of the year, I do believe we are going to be in a very, very different place. So we will not be doing the meditation tonight, because I told you I didn't want to do the videos too long. So during the week, I will be posting another Reiki meditation. I think I'm going to do a hypnosis one. So it's going to be a little bit deeper, kind of like the last one we did, the last hypnosis one. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm going to show you 3 cards. Each card represents a deck. Pick the deck you're drawn to. Each deck is going to resonate with each other, but the deck that you choose is the message that you need to hear. And my intention when I'm shuffling the cards is that you become aware of what you're not aware of at the moment. So tonight's theme is wisdom and friendship, which is very cool, because Cancer is about family and friends and closeness, being comfortable and safe and secure. And then we have the wisdom. And I feel that's where all this healing is unleashing a lot of ancestral wisdom, a lot of our own wisdom from many, many lifetimes on whether this planet or any other planet. Okay, got to take a step. So I'm going to show you the 3 cards now. When you've chosen your card, put it in the chat so I know that I don't have to repeat it. I'll repeat it twice. This is deck number 1. If you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 1. That's a timestamp. Deck number 2. If you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 2. And deck number 3. If you are drawn to this card, you are deck number 3. I'm going to repeat the cards again and put your deck in the chat. Deck number 1. Deck number 2. And deck number 3. Okay, good. So everyone has chosen their deck. If you chose, there's something so pure about this card. I don't know. It's like a snowflake flower to me. I really love this card. So this is deck number 1. I'm just time stamping. Otherwise, I forget. So forgiveness. Forgiveness is written very small, so bear with me. The energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. And it's the number 20. So what's interesting is I also added affirmation cards to the deck. I don't read the decks. I just shuffle them and I put them aside, and I, go through the cards live when I'm with you guys. And right underneath this card is "My life is a mirror," which is interesting because you got the forgiveness. The people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. I see the forgiveness card as acceptance. That's how I perceive forgiveness. It's more acceptance. And maybe there are people or a specific person around you that you just need to accept, but maybe you're having a hard time to forgive because the qualities that you don't like in them or that trigger you or piss you off are actually the qualities you don't like in yourself. So that's really the depth of like those two cards right there. Use it as, take a step back and use it as an opportunity to question what you're really feeling. If this person is triggering you or pissing you off, or even the thought of them, connect to the emotion that you're feeling, not the story. The story is going to justify the emotion and you're never going to feel the emotion. And remember, you got to feel it to heal it. Ask for the emotion to come up into the light. That's all it wants to do, is come into the light. And once you do that, you'll be amazed how it has nothing to do with this person. It has to do with you accepting, I don't want to say it's flaws, but maybe you're looking at it as a flaw, but you're human. Accepting the human sides of you. And I feel like you've done a lot of work, and this might be where you might feel a little stuck. Like maybe you feel like you can't let something go. And I think that's where it is. So your chakra cards. Oh my God. You have third eye, crown, third eye, crown. Then you have the roots and the sacral chakra. So just connecting to like deck number 1, I literally have a headache. I feel that there's a lot of overthinking. Shelly, maybe if you change forgiveness to acceptance, you might have a different take on that. Maybe it's the way you see forgiveness. Maybe if you just change the word forgiveness to acceptance, maybe it would be easier to accept, even accept the most horrific things. Remember, we're all human. We all make mistakes. But deck number 1, you are really in your head, really in your head. For some, I'm feeling like sinus pressure, a lot of ringing, not just ringing. I don't know how to put this into words when I'm hearing in my ear. It's like my ears are clogged, but they're buzzing in a way. I don't know how to explain it. They feel clogged, but I feel a buzz in it. So that's just an interesting feeling that I've never felt. Definitely a gift. Earlier when I says that if you have the gift of vision and you can see things, deck number one is definitely, and I'm not saying every single person. Remember, this is a collective reading. If it resonates, great. If not, ignore. But I do feel like your gifts are expanding and there's a lot going on in your dream world. A lot of, you don't know if you dreamt it or if it really happened. It's almost as if the dream world and the waking world are kind of like crossing over in a way. It's almost as if you can't separate the two sometimes. You can't remember if you dreamt it or if it really happened. Something very, very intense about your dreams. Your intuition it's on point. And I feel like recently you tested your intuition. You had a feeling about something and you dismissed it and you allowed your mind to talk you out of trusting your gut feeling. And it wasn't anything major, but it was a little example, a minor example of you should have listened to your intuition. Does that make sense? There was like an incident that your intuition said not to do something, but your mind is like, oh, what's the worst that can happen? And you did it anyway, even though it didn't feel right to you. And then afterwards, you find something out and you're like, shit, I shouldn't have done that. Not that anything bad came of it, but it was more of a reminder to trust your intuition. And if you don't want those experiences to get stronger, I'm going to suggest trust your intuition. I feel like the conflict that's in your mind between your intuition and the thinking, your conscious thinking, it's as if you're breaking free of your ego mind. And I feel like that's where all the emotions are coming in. It's like the ego mind is dying and it's going to give its best shot because it's not going to go down easy. And this might be where the confusion and the overthinking is coming in, because it feels like you feel very disconnected from spirit. You feel very disconnected from just everything. And you're really not. You're just going through this minor internal war between your spiritual mind and your ego mind. So there is some kind of battle taking place right now. And that's what's being purged. And that's why you're on this emotional roller coaster, which is really important for you to pay attention to the people around you, what they are reflecting, and be aware of what you are feeling. Remember, not the story, the feeling. Bring that feeling into light so you can clear it out, so you can easily move through this transition from the ego mind into the spirit mind. I don't even know if those were like real titles, but you understand what I'm saying. Then you have the root chakra, and this has, I feel like there's a lot of unresolved anger here. And the anger is probably due to this, the forgiveness. You're very mad. It's as if you forgive, you'll be mad at yourself because you may think this is just the way you may be thinking. If I forgive this person, then I accepted it and I said it was okay. And that's not the truth. Accepting is just accepting. You choose whether or not you want to engage with this person or even give them any more energy. By being mad and holding on to that anger, you literally are giving them your energy by not forgiving, by not letting go. And they don't deserve your energy. You deserve to keep all your energy. So you have universe, solitude, rest and rejuvenate, the wisdom, fertility, and choose wisely. So you're on the right path. You're definitely on the right path, even though you may feel confused and have no clue to what you're doing or where you're headed or what's going on. It doesn't matter. You are in the hands of your spirit family right now. They are guiding you. They are carrying you through this as you heal this intense part of you. Definitely at a crossroads. Now, this is not for everyone, but, and I think this came up before. I feel pregnancy. So if you are able, not even if you are able, okay, if you are not looking to get pregnant right now, be very, very careful, because I feel like there is a lot of fertile energy around us right now, especially now with the new moon, new beginnings, the new earth. There's a lot of newness. So there's a lot of fertility right now, a lot of fertility energy. Just be mindful of that. Now, for the those of you who do not want kids, cannot have kids, or choose not to, whatever it is, this has to do with a business or career move. And I feel like you are at a crossroad. You need to make a choice whether to settle or expand. This is the words that came in. Either you're going to settle for where you are right now because it's safe, but you do have an opportunity to expand, and it's scary. And especially if you're a Cancer, it may be a little, especially with the new moon being in your sign, a little extra scary to do. But it is definitely a wise choice to expand, because I feel like